Pokemon. Polito is just like a bit too much of a fraud, right? It's not like a fraud Pokemon as much to me.
Belly Bolt.
You come into my house.
I started my stream, so.
Okay. If the first attack does more than half your health, start off by clicking Life Dew.
Mm-hmm.
If not, start out clicking Light Screen. And then just kind of alternate between Life Dew, Refresh, Life Dew, and Helping Hand. Oh, also just go ahead and paralyze it if you can. That'll be fun.
With what?
Thunderwave?
Oh, I didn't realize that Thunderwave.
Yeah. So that's just to buy us some free turns. Oh, heck yeah, and we got Toxapex with the chilling water. Okay, yeah, this shouldn't be too bad. Oh, so something, I don't know how long they've been doing this, but something I noticed recently is that when Cerebi posts their raid things, they actually have details for how much, or when the, like, at what times the raid Pokemon will do the clearing of status.
Mm-hmm.
So for Rayquaza, they clear status once at like 80% of the timer, and then we don't have to worry about it for the rest of it. It's like they clear our status at 85 and then their status at 80, and then we don't have to worry about them clearing our status for the rest of the game.
Well, I tried a Thunderwave, but somebody accidentally poisoned it. Oops.
Oh well, it's fine.
Also, I'm confused.
Does Helping Hand even work in raids? I'm not sure. Okay, so you'll need to reset up Light Screen now.
Okay.
Yeah, the only thing about soloing it with Enamorus is that you kind of have to get lucky, because if it spams Hurricane too much, then you can't really heal up past it.
Did I not use light screen there? I didn't use anything?
No, you used it.
Okay.
Or I just saw you pop up on my screen using
I didn't
it.
see the I just didn't see any animation for it, so that's why I'm like.
Oh no, I'm confused.
I'm not a huge fan of how when I use life to it looks like it doesn't do anything to everyone else.
Oh yeah.
And that doesn't work both things up. I get it. I get it. Man, I don't like these raids.
Me neither. They just feel so bad. Like, the turn-based system was fine. You know what they should have done for the raids? They should have made it a turn-based system like Legends Arceus. Like with the dynamic turns.
See, but Legends Arceus is developed by a team that actually cares about their product. And I'm not flaming, I'm just saying.
Yeah. So let's see. So I actually have been playing a fair amount of like different stuff recently.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have some things to talk about, like
What's up, Ramblin'
so there's
Rooklu? Holy, it's been a while.
oh, we haven't seen him in ages. Right there, Ruklu. I love you. But so I've been playing the new Shadow Generations,
Hmm.
which really good. It's you played the Bowser's Fury, right? The Super Mario 3D World add-on
Yes.
for
I
the
was trying to
Switch
think of what
version.
that was.
Yeah. Yeah. So Shadow Generations is literally just that.
Makes sense.
I mean, it has like actual separate levels, but like it feels a lot like that. Like there's the original game, which is still on there, or you can go to the separate mode that has its own explorable world and levels. And it's really good. The levels are good. The story is really solid. Uh, it's still written by Ian Flynn, so like all the characters are like pretty well written and in character.
Mm-hmm.
The overall plot is like nothing like too fancy, but like it's solid and good. And best of all is that a little girl dies at the end, which is what everyone wants from a Shadow the Hedgehog property. Also, it's kind of hard to go back to the original Generations levels because I don't know if they changed the controls in the remake or not, but the Shadow portion just feels like it controls so much better. Like, I love the Generations levels, but the controls definitely could have used some work. But they also might have changed the controls in the remake. I haven't gone back to play the original in a while. Okay, quit digging at the couch.
I think I'll
Ain't
hit
no
him with.
reason for that.
I think I'll say don't catch for this one. So what's the
What's
shiny
that?
rate on this raid?
It's if you catch it, it's 100.
Huh? What's the rate to catch it then? I guess.
Oh, yeah. They're all 100. All the raids in this game are 100.
It's kind of lame. This is guaranteed shiny.
Yep.
That's.
To be fair, this is the first one that they've done.
I don't
I
know how
think
I
this is
feel
the
about
first
that.
shiny raid they've done.
I spent many hours hunting for Rayquaza and Sword and Shield, and just gave it to me.
Yeah. It was the tie-in with the anime. Because the Horizons anime has a pretty heavy plot point about Shiny Rayquaza.
Well, I don't know how to feel about that.
Man, I really miss the days of us where it was like we had to really hunt down.
It's just like it just
Like you remember like the shiny events in Sword and Shield where it'd be like 3 or 4 of us and we were all like
yeah running
resetting
around.
our raids as much as
Yeah,
possible to try and get one of the event ones.
yeah, and then you wouldn't know if it was shiny until after you got it. Or wait,
No,
no,
I'm
the
not
other
even talking
ones.
about
Yeah, you're not
adventures.
talking. You're not talking about the adventures. You're talking about because those ones you did see with their
Yeah, I'm talking
shiny.
about the
Yeah,
regular ones.
that's true.
Adventures were great, but like even like the regular ones, like having a hunt, like getting together with a group of people to try and find like
Yeah.
any one of us who had a shiny raid, man, that was such a blast. I like the fact that they made the 7-star raids or like they made raids actually difficult in this game. Like even if you have like level 100 Pokemon, I do not appreciate the fact that they suck to play.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of. I'm still just like, man. Kind of feels lame. Mm, I don't
Yeah,
like
I
this
don't know why
feeling.
they didn't make it a. I don't know why they didn't make it a 7-star. So it would have been harder. But then again, harder raids in this game are also just kind of more annoying. So
Uklu
ips and
says
ops.
Uklu says his issue with the game is that it's $50 for a game that's 10 years old with a DLC tacked on. It's a good DLC, but it's not worth double the price of the original. It's double the fucking price?
I thought it was $40, not 60.
I mean, did
Oh
they
wait, or is
did they change anything about the original like game, or is it just literally the original game with like
the original game is still the same? I mean, technically the new Pokemon are in the game, so you can get them traded in, but the original game should still be the exact same.
talking about
I've been meaning to replay.
generations?
Oh, Shadow Generation. Whoops. Oh, he's on that. Uh, yeah. So Shadow Generations, the original game does have some new stuff. It's got some new collectibles hidden in the levels,
Yeah, but like,
and in my opinion, I think that the Shadow portion is a little bit. There's like 4 less levels than in the original Generations. Or no, there's 3 less levels because it's 6 instead of 9.
mhm.
So there's 3 less levels, but the explorable like little open zone you have is so much bigger and more interesting than in Generations. So in my opinion, it's about the same cost to me. Like for me, I bought it for Shadow, and then having the original Sonic Generations tacked on is just a nice bonus.
So you're saying you paid $50 for Shadow?
Yeah.
Uh...
Okay, to be fair though, these are like Sonic Generations design of levels, so like they're really good levels.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Once the Sonic team finally figured it out, all they had to do is spend decades making levels and then only take the ones that people actually like, and then they'll finally have a good game. Oof, oof, oof.
Man, I was so mad at the level selection, like for where they took from in
The fuck is this?
the Shadow portion. I was so mad at it.
What the?
What?
I'm trying to go into a cave here, and it's just blocked off by like gray goop, and I can't go in it.
Wait, where are you at?
I'm at the Satotl outbreak, and there's a little cave right next to it, and I tried to go into it, and it doesn't let me.
That seems odd.
Okay. Real talk. We need the important facts here. Why do Satotls drop grease?
They're whales.
You know what? Fair enough.
Yeah. Like, okay, so a little thing about the economy of Paldea. I've actually been writing about this. Not really, but this is what I'm going to write about next time at work, just to fill the time. The economy of Paldea would be in shambles if not for the Satotl population.
Hey, look at this! Look at this thing right here.
Oh, this is the one from the The sandwich,
That's what I
the
was
Titan.
thinking. But like they lock it off afterwards. You're not allowed to go in.
Oh yeah, it's so annoying. Like it's so dumb. Just let us have a little spot, man. Let us have a little spot.
That's not what I meant to do. Yeah, I clicked the wrong button. That Citadel model. What the fuck was that? The battle loaded in with the low poly Citadel model that like you don't see from close up.
Oh, that's
It did its animation with a low poly model and like its mouth broke.
I love that. Maybe it's because I had come over at the same time.
Maybe.
But yeah, so like, if it weren't for exports of Citadel Grease, Paldea would have literally nothing.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, usually when you are the only place with the education system around anywhere, out of like any country, usually it's pretty beneficial.
Well, Unova has one. It's just a private school that's literally out in the ocean. Because that's what Blueberry is.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to explore it until generations later.
Well, yeah, that's because in Black and White we were poor.
They'll have small regional schools. Yeah, but it's like crappy, crummy schools, you know what I mean? Like, you don't... The smart kids don't go to Alola High, you know? Like...
Yeah, the smart kids don't go to Earl's Pokemon Academy. Like, they call it that, but it's, like, literally just, like, one building.
It's one building with, like, 3 fourth graders, 2 kindergartners in it. I'm like, that's basically it.
Yeah. Like, in Johto, all the actual kids head off to White City, where they go to the actual Earl's Pokemon Academy, which is funded by the huge stadiums that are right outside.
You say the one in Alola.
So, fun fact.
The only thing I remember with the one in Alola is, like, going into it for 2 seconds and then leaving, so...
Okay, the one from Alola is actually the size of, like, a small, regular school. So, like, I could see, like, the one in Alola actually being decent. Compared to, like, the one building Tiny Fest the past game.
Like, that's fair, because it's also, you know, based off of, like, a tourist attraction destination area. Oh. Would you look at that? Shiny Citadel.
The only reason there's a school there is that way the tourists think that they educate their kids.
Dude, I've forgotten how to hit buttons in this game.
Honestly, fair.
Change him to the first position.
So, outside of Shadow, what have I been playing? Although Shadow was really good. Oh, I also, I picked up a couple of 3D platformers on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
While they were on sale. I got Pseudo Regalia.
Okay, I also picked that
which...
up.
Yeah, it's really good so far. Yeah, it's really good so far. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, it's recommended by a
I
friend
haven't
of
finished
mine,
it yet.
like last year, and I just never picked it up. I was like, oh, I'll pick it up on sale.
Yeah. The pitch that I got was like if Super Mario 64 was a Metroidvania.
And also the main character's ass was out, but you know.
Okay, yeah, that's what got me to download it. I'll admit it. No, I actually had it on my wish list for ages from when I saw a clip of it in development on Twitter like 3 or 2 years ago. And then when I saw a post mention the furry butt, I was like, oh yeah, that's right, I meant to get that.
It's really just been on my wish list for like the past year because somebody recommended it to me because they know I like platformers. And I was like,
I
"Oh, I'll
also
check it
got
out."
one called Cavern of Dreams that I had wishlisted. I don't remember why, but it looked decent, so I'll probably play that one after Pseudo.
Mhm.
That being said, though, I have been playing Pseudo Regalia downscaled. Looks
Course.
perfectly at home on a CRT. It looks absolutely perfect on there. The only thing that makes it worse to play on a CRT is that it makes me think of Glover, and nothing should make you think of Glover.
What do you mean?
Listen, if I knew how to play Glover, it'd probably be my favorite game on the system, but since I don't know how to play Glover, I hate it with a burning passion.
Yeah, I need to check out Cavern Dreams as well.
Yeah. I also finally got around to downloading Project 06, the Sonic Project 06.
Cavern Dreams is more of a Banjo-Kazooie. Sounds right up my alley. Love to
Oh,
hear it.
I do love Banjo-Kazooie.
As
It's
we all
like
know
one of
from
the best games
my,
on the system,
as
right
we all know
after.
from my Let's Play, like.
Yeah, and as we all remember from my streams, Banjo-Tooie is just the better version.
Yeah, okay. Me when I smoke crack, like.
I am a Banjo-Tooie defender. Not that it really needs defending, because like really the people who have problems with it have legitimate problems with it that like are still correct. But I am a Banjo-Tooie defender.
Yeah, and I am a Banjo-Tooie offendeder. I'm offended by the game.
Offended her.
What'd you say was in Blueberry? Blueberry?
Fracture, the pre-evo to Haxorus Daxorus.
Who fucking cares?
Yeah, you can get a shiny Haxorus whenever you want. All you have to
Yeah,
do is
literally.
literally an entire side dungeon at the end of Pokemon Black and White 2. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
And then transfer it up. Like, that's easy mode. I could do that any day now.
Yeah. They give you that shit for free. It's like going like, oh, I really want to shiny hunt these Magikarp. I guess there's still some value in Magikarp, but it's being like if I want to shiny hunt this Magikarp so I can have a Gyarados.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, I mean, at this point, to get that shiny Gyarados, you have to transfer it up 5 generations.
That's true. Until they do
I mean,
an
they've
event
had...
in every single game where they give you one for free anyway.
That's true. Although, we haven't had one yet in Scarvo.
What's Carbink weak to?
Steel, water, grass.
Okay. Actually, no.
Go ahead and put them in the chat, Ruklu. I will probably wishlist them. And then play them in 7 years.
Okay, I have a couple of. I have a short list of games that I want to stream soon because I'm gonna try to stream some more next year. Because what the fuck else am I doing?
Oh, you know what? Do you want a small Pseudo Regalia spoiler? Like, really small, in my opinion.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so this is what proved that it's a Metroidvania to me. Is that I spent probably like an hour and a half. I don't know if it was that long, but I spent like a long time on this really challenging platformer segment. I was struggling, and it was like a long one too. Like, it was difficult, and I'm like, okay, I finally got to the end of it. And then I get through it, and it's like a non-essential upgrade to like up your magic. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is a Metroidvania through and through. This is it. This is the Metroid experience to me. I absolutely hated every moment of that, and it is why I personally think Pseudo Regalia is a great game. I also have not had to use any accessibility options yet.
Like what? What would you use if you were using accessibility options?
I don't know. I don't remember seeing any. I'm assuming there's some sort of like easy mode thing that I just didn't bother to look for because I didn't need it. Let's see. Carbink.
That's actually kind of cool looking shiny.
For what? Fracture or Carbink?
Carbon.
Oh, Carbink shiny is fantastic. I actually have one already that I hunted in Sword and Shield. I just did the encounter hunting for it. Boy, do I love Carbink. Carbink is definitely like one of my favorite Pokemon. Although I don't really like Diancie.
I was gonna make a joke because it'd be like, it's funny it doesn't evolve into anything.
Yeah, I agree. I've actually been using Carbink on I'm not putting the pants on the hot rabbit. I've actually been using Carbink on a competitive. I think she's a rabbit in Pseudo Regalia.
Is she a goat?
Oh yeah, goat, whatever. I can't tell.
Listen, I won't inform you why I'm intimately familiar with this character, despite the fact that I've never played the game. Okay.
It's okay. I've seen what you shared on.
Without even having to play the game. Okay.
But what was I saying? Oh yeah, but so I've actually been using Carbink on a competitive team recently, and it is I love Carbink so much. He's just such a little guy. I love when I can like sweep through an opponent's team, and I'm just like, haha, get binked.
Big. Clearly following the creator. I actually am. I know about their next game as well. It's I forget what it's called, but it's like he plays different like multicolored weird creature, like more pseudo furry things. It's another platformer.
Oh boy, oh boy. Man knows his audience.
Man probably knows himself. Is that your outbreak that just dispersed?
Yes.
It said the Pokemon from the outbreak to disperse, and I turned, and there was like 4 more Carbons. I was like,
Alright, where's my next one? Every day is a winding road.
It's a roguelike platformer. Yeah, it looked like it was like a co-op platformer thing. Or maybe like a
that'd
competitive
be
platformer.
You want to stream it?
Maybe. But I mean, it's not out yet. It's the next game that they're working on.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, once it comes out, put it on the docket. Paul and Cory streams. Just watch as you get shown up by the third best platformer.
What's up, KP_Senti? That is your real name.
Sending kisses in the chat to KP Senti. Moi moi. Hashtag get mod.
I got you're a mod in my chat. That's kind of funny.
Oh yeah, also, I probably won't play it, but last time it was on sale, I did actually go ahead and finally pick up Monster Sanctuary.
But you
I
don't
have
want to
no
play it,
plans to
you
actually
said.
get around to playing it yet, but maybe.
Why did you want to? Why won't you play it?
Well, I have a Pseudo Regalia and Caverns of Dreams up on the docket next. Oh, I still have to go back and finish Echoes of Wisdom.
Look at him. Get him, boy. Get him. I should probably shiny hunt. Grab it one of these days. I haven't been playing the game.
Oh yeah, that one would be golden.
Brooklyn,
For
you're
a
telling me
shiny hunt.
something with 64 in the name is based on N64-esque platformers? No way. Dude, no shot.
Okay, funniest thing if it's called like Corn Kid 64 and it's like a Saturn game.
It plays like the Night After Dreams or whatever.
Throwback when Knights got like a really faithful, high quality remake on the Wii, and no one ever talks about it.
Nobody ever played it.
I did, but I'm bad at Knights and couldn't figure out how to play it, so I never got past like the first stage.
I mean, I don't know if I can trust
Listen,
you to
younger
say
me
it's a
wasn't.
faithful remake if you couldn't even play it, you know?
That's true. That's true. Listen, younger me was an idiot.
Yeah, he liked Star Fox Zero. Holy.
Listen.
Speaking about horrible controlling
It
games.
holds up. Listen. It holds up.
Speaking of
I
games
say
that
with
control,
absolute
like,
certainty, despite the fact I never plan to play it again.
Speaking of games that like, I don't know. Is that a? Oh no. Okay, I thought that was a shiny Applin that just appeared. It's a Lefali or whatever. You can understand my confusion with that, right?
Yes.
Kind of looks like it has a rounded shape and it has the two little like things above it.
Mm-hmm.
It's green. Let's see what the fuck. But yeah, no, I mean, Star Fox Zero. This is not to sound rude. But Star Fox Zero, I think, is the game that's made it's the game that's made me feel the closest I've ever felt to like actually having a physical disability, I guess. Like, it's not to sound rude. Literally, that's what it felt like playing the game. Is that I literally like had some kind of physical disability that I couldn't control the game correctly.
It was made as a learning experience. You know, I'm trying to remember who. There was one YouTuber who, like, I saw a tweet like a year or so ago about how they were really bummed out that like they got to meet Shigeru Miyamoto and like talk to him and have like pictures with him and all that. And like they were kind of bummed out because they're thinking back on it and all they got to talk about was Star Fox Zero. Like, because you remember, because he was actually like meeting with like Nintendo YouTubers at the time and like showing up on their like streams and stuff for like official like press tour stuff for Star Fox freaking Zero.
You gotta think like nobody asked him about fucking Slippy's fucking Slippy's tower defense, whatever the hell it's called. Slippy's uncle's tower defense.
You know, I need to play that one of these days, just to say that I have. Hey, maybe it's fantastic.
It's something that if you have the knowledge about it, like existing, then you're already there. It's like Mean Bean Machine. Like, you don't gotta play it. If you know it exists, you know what it is. You're good.
Actually, you do gotta play it because you can't beat Sonic Mania without playing it for a little bit. And you really should beat Sonic Mania because it's one of the best games of all time.
No, but it's a super easy version of it, like a dumbed down version, and it's like a reference. And I did beat Mania on stream. Didn't I?
That's right.
I played it on stream. I don't know if I
think
beat
so.
it on stream. I definitely don't think I beat it on stream now that I think about it. Because that was during the Summer Pandemonium. It was a while ago. Speaking of failed projects...
Oh no, don't you bring up my YouTube channel into this.
I was on my YouTube channel.
So, what were you talking about, the failed projects?
I was saying Summer Pandemonium, because that's when I played Sonic Mania. I was during that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Remember the Smash Games list?
That's... I hate that I was thinking about that recently. That's not a YouTube project, that's a Twitch project.
And I still have my half-finished Mother 3 save from, like, earlier this year, and I'm like, man, Mother 3 is so good, I need to finish it.
I have my half-finished Earthbound save from when I was playing it on the Smash Games list.
To be fair, I also have a half-finished Earthbound save.
So I did a thing, AJ, where I took every character from Smash Brothers and I put like their names into a document. And I like assigned them a game, and I was like, I'm gonna play through all the games for Smash Ultimate. And I played through like the first 7 or something. You're gonna play the Origin games. Yeah. For most of them, it was like, what games are they originating from? You know what? I'm not fucking doing anything here. Hold on. Let's... Is that a shiny carbink right as I said that? That's fucking funny. Alright, well...
Wait, did you really get one?
Yeah. Right as I said I'm not doing anything here and I was about to stop playing.
99% of gamers stop right before they get the shiny. Hey man, will you do me a favor and after you catch it, check and see if that bad boy is 0 speed?
Yeah. Oh, this is gonna take for eternity. But I'll show you the list. Moonblast. Holy fuck.
Get blasted, idiot.
Maybe I have to try to catch this without it's asleep. Maybe that's enough.
I think Carbink has a pretty decent... I think Carbink should have a decent catch rate since it's kind of an early game Pokemon meant to be.
Is it? I always thought it was like a...
So in this game, in the Alola games, it's been an endgame Pokemon, but in X and Y, it was in the it was in a cave right after the 3rd gym.
Alright, you're gonna need to stop moonblasting, buddy. Hypnosis is gonna miss. That's cool. Special attack.
So sad that Carbink doesn't get Moonlight. A tragedy. Yo!
You get one.
Yeah.
Speed best.
Alright, you can keep it.
Saying what if yours is speed best? I haven't caught mine yet.
Oh, okay, okay. Let's see. If it's speed best, you can keep it. Actually, perfect world would be it has a speed IV of like 1 or 2, so that way it's technically faster than my Calyrex Shadow or Calyrex Ice Rider.
This blade is getting beat by a rock. You're not wrong. I'm just gonna false swipe it down until it's fucking no hell. Doesn't have anything that kills itself, right?
Let's consult the Cerebi. Let's see, we got dead binked, dead binked, dead binked, dead binked, dead binked.
Hypnosis is doing work. Hypnosis is hitting more than it should.
Let's see. It does not get explosion via level up, so you should be good.
60% accuracy on hypnosis, and it's kind of hitting.
Probably because it's 60% accuracy on hypnosis.
Dude, just put down stealth rocks? Huh?
Did I forget to bring them on that could do anything here?
It's out of Moonblast. Feeling good. Just feeling stealth rock now. That's not rocks. That's rain. No,
Carbink used Rock Dance.
It has Moonblast. It just killed me. Okay, with the fucking crit. Glade beaten by a rock.
Darn, it's decent.
Don't I have Spore on this dude? Might as well send them out.
Alright, so it's level 58. If we pull up the showdown, what's the speed IV on this guy? New team, Red G.
This real slow as fuck. Holy.
Bank change the level to. What level is my little buddy?
Bro.
Level
The 3 shake escape.
50.
Fuck you.
58. With a neutral speed nature.
Carbink was caught. Let's see what mine has.
Okay, so we got a speed IV of 7 or 8. Which means that a minus speed nature would have a base speed of 60.
I have pretty good speed, so. Sorry.
Dang. It outspeeds Calyrex. What are the other? What's the other one?
I'm sending it to the box. Alright, let me save real quick.
Yeah, no, can't use this one because it. I would literally need it to be like a -1, so that way, like, it technically does. So it's 1 point faster than Calyrex Ice, but not faster than Ursaluna Blood Moon with 0 speed. I mean, I still have a second shiny Carbink, which is great. Oh, funnily enough, I did get a YouTube email about like my performance this year on YouTube
as well. I was like, bro,
because I uploaded that one joke video from where my screen was messing up when I was getting that shiny Beldum.
Send your YouTube channel in the chat so people can see it.
Yeah, sure. Let me
I have my new YouTube channel as well. Let me actually look it up.
Oh, you started a new one? Oh yeah, that's right, because you were planning to do the video essays, right?
Just more like make it so the actually edited videos are on that channel as opposed to my archive, which is like, yeah, the 50 is my archive channel now. I have a new channel that has edited videos on it, but I haven't done much, if anything, on it. So I'll link that in the chat too.
Oh wait, you can just put like the name of the YouTube channel after an @ now?
Yeah. They made it more YouTube like friendly. Easier to do that shit. That's my new channel. But for stuff that I actually edit. Should they do something a couple months ago, so. But I do have something planned in the back channel, but I don't know if I'm gonna get around to it or not. Let's see.
There we go. So work on that CO.
My year on YouTube 2024, 636 views. Damn. Top video was the M&M's one, which had 12 hours watched.
I mean, I remember 2 years ago, I was actually kind of trying at that a little bit. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
And watch that little meme video blow straight past everything else I've ever uploaded.
On my archive right now, I think the most popular video is that M&M's video, which is wild. Let me see. Let's go to the studio. I thought there was. Okay, so wait, let's see what the most views. Yeah, it is the M&M's video. Has surpassed my my oldest most viewed video, My Crap, episode 2. And my number 3, the Tulip walkthrough. Which has only 40.
I forgot to put the @ when I typed it in.
Tulip walkthrough only has 40% likes. Because I think people were mad. I did get a few comments. People were mad that I didn't continue the Tulip series. Like random
Honestly,
people
your
who were
Tulip
like,
video
were like, I need a walkthrough for this fucking game.
Honestly, your tulip streams though were like actually lit. Like your tulip like speedruns.
Mm-hmm. Let me do what I wanted to do. Let me go to Google Sheets. Was it? All right. Let's. Get the. There it is. All right. So as you can see, actually, let me keep the sound on, or I can just boot up Foobar. Actually, that's probably a better idea. Boot up Foobar. So as you can see here, there's the Smash Games list. Let's go over it real quick. Because why not?
Man, looking at that hurts my heart.
So I had each character by order of release, because if you go to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, they have a website. Oh, it's smashbros.com probably. They have a website, and it goes through, if you click on fighters, it goes through all the fighters in order. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, you know? So I just did it based off of that. And we can kind of go through here. See, like for Mario, I did Mario Odyssey because, like, I'm not playing the original Mario. Like, what fucking. Like, some of these I was like, I'm going to play, like, the first game they're from. And some of these I'm like, I'm going to play a game that I enjoy from the series instead because I'd rather not go through with some of those.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the Donkey Kong Country
For
stream.
some of those, you'd end up playing.
Like, I remember for the Donkey Kong Country stream, I cheated, and Cory was ripping me for it. I cheated, also known as I used save states, because the original Donkey Kong Country is fucking annoying to play through without save states.
So hard.
Cory was roasting my ass for it.
Yeah. As I should have. I mean, you are right to do it, but I was also right to roast you. It's one of those, like, what's the word for, like, the sucking yourself off? An Ouroboros. That's what it was.
Uh-huh. Yeah, okay, sure. But then, yeah, for Link, I had Breath of the Wild, choosing Breath of the Wild instead of Twilight Princess. Well, in Ultimate, he becomes Breath of the Wild Link. That's why I did it. And also, if you see in the Reasoning tab, it says there, also because it gives more room for other Zelda characters to be like different games, which is nice. Santa said it's Super Metroid. First time I ever played Super Metroid, I don't like it that much. I'm actually not a huge fan of Super Metroid. I'm going to be honest.
Wow, I'm pretty sure that, like, someone just put you on a kill list.
And then Dark Samus, which is the Echo variant. I did Metroid Prime 2 because that's the game that she's an antagonist from, and that was one of my favorite games of all time after I played it. So I loved that game. Metroid Prime 2 was so much fun. Here's how much fun it was. If we go to my archive channel, shut up, and we search up Metroid Prime. We see this 5-hour stream. I played this on the fucking Wii U. Holy shit. It's a 5-hour stream. 4 hours and 40 minutes in, I realized I had my mic muted for the whole stream. That's how much I enjoyed playing this game, is I didn't even notice my mic was muted the whole time I was playing it. So that's why
That's so funny.
it's a great game. I love that game. Yoshi, we got Yoshi's Island, of course. Kirby Superstar. Which, like, some of these were like you know, I just enjoyed, like, Kirby Superstar is just, in my mind, it's the quintessential Kirby game, you know what I mean? Like, when you think Kirby game, it's Superstar. There are other good games, but Superstar has it all, you know? Kind of cute that you get the old banner in the archive. Yeah, why not? I mean, for now at least. Like, I don't think I'm ever gonna update it just because, like, why? Who cares? Like, I'm not. The archive isn't there for other people. You know what I mean? It's there for me and my friends. The Tragedy of Annie the Immortal Age, The Wild Tale. It's a video that I spent a lot of time editing. The story behind that one is me and my friends all went to a League of Legends game. We randomed, choosing the first champion we picked, and then we said we were going to make a video out of it. And Cory, unfortunately, did not record his video with any audio, so he didn't end up making a video, but me and Jesse both made videos, and they're both very good, I think, in my opinion. They're both very good videos. We basically just spent the whole day, New Year's Eve, or New Year's Day, that one year, doing it, so it was kind of fun. But anyway, moving on to this. Pikachu, we did Pokemon Snap, and the reason why is because I think later is what we ended up doing first gen. And I didn't want to do Pokemon Yellow and then do, like, Pokemon Red later for the Pokemon Trainer. So
Yeah, makes sense.
I think that's why I did Pokemon Snap. And then Luigi, I did Luigi's Mansion 3. Just because it was recent. It had just come out. And I was like, why not? Those are all the games I got through actually playing. And that's why they're marked in the green. So anything marked in yellow, you'll notice I have some shit marked in yellow. I actually went down... and, like, did all the way through down to Sora. It's kind of funny. But the stuff in yellow is games I either have or are easily accessible for me to get. The stuff in red is games I don't have, and it'd be very hard for me to get. You'll notice there's a lot of Fire Emblem games in there, because Fire Emblem games are notably fucking horrid to actually get your hands on. Yeah. But, like, red is basically I don't own it yet. And I need to find a way to get it. Like, for instance, Mother 3 for Lucas, I just had parentheses emulate, and it's in red because I just, if I got down to that part, I'd emulate it, you know? For the record, Luigi in Ultimate has the Poltergeist from Luigi's Mansion 3, so that's technically the game you should be playing. Exactly, dude. That's my thought exactly.
Yeah, or for Mother 3, you could... get an EverDrive and then play it on a GameCube with a Game Boy player. You could also do that.
That's true, but it wouldn't be translated, would it?
Yeah, there's the ROM is
translation.
So.
Yeah, see, exactly. So either way, you're playing something illegal by Nintendo standards. So.
Yeah, we're not talking about Nintendo's arbitrary standards. We're talking about my arbitrary standards.
Dude, I forgot.
Which are the only arbitrary standards that matter.
So, like, and there are some funny ones here. Like, I'm looking through right now. Like, so we have... So, Kid Icarus as a series, obviously. You're thinking... Okay, Kid Icarus has the original game, and it has the 3DS game, right? The issue is, it has 3 characters in Smash Ultimate. It has Pit, Dark Pit, and Palutena. So you're like, what the fuck do you do? So for Pit, I had Kid Icarus, the original. For Dark Pit, I had Kid Icarus Uprising, because that's where Dark Pit comes from. Makes sense. For Palutena, what do you do for Palutena, you know? How do you solve that issue? Well, it turns out there is a third game in the Kid Icarus series called Kid Icarus of Myths and Monsters.
That's right.
If you want to take a look at this fucking game, it's absolutely dog shit ass looking game. I don't even know if Palutena is even in this game. But yeah, that's...
I mean, that's easy. You would just have to switch
Oh no, there she is.
Pit and
There
Palutena.
she is. She's in the screenshot. At least I assume that's her. So there you go. I mean,
Lady Palutena.
so yeah, there's some funny stuff in here for sure. Like for Sonic, I had Sonic CD because that's my favorite Sonic game.
Wait, what?
Paul has to play through Persona
Oh,
5.
I got a shiny fracture.
I've already played through Persona 5, buddy. But yes, I would have to play through it again, and I'm going to be honest, Persona 5 is my least favorite of the Persona series games that I've played. I've only played 2 of them, so... I would have to look at the Persona 5, yeah. And then, you know, like Dragon Quest, it's like I could choose either 3, 4, 8, or 11 from the Dragon Quest series. Which, to be honest, it would probably be 8, because it's been a while since I played that one. And 3 and 4 aren't, like, great. Well, 3 is great, but it just got the re-release. But 4 isn't that great. So it'd either be 3 or 8, realistically. 11's just too fucking long. Dark Pit. The issue with Dark Pit, the reason why because he didn't exist in those old games. Dark Pit doesn't exist in those old games. He only exists in Kid Icarus Uprising. That's where he got created.
Well, yeah, but oh, that's so funny. The idea that you count 2 as Dark Pit just because it's in black and white, that would be so funny. There would be people that would be so mad at you for that.
I thought his name is Black Pit. My Amiibo box says that. It is in, like, whatever language. Isn't that Japanese that has it as Black Pit or something? Yeah. It's weird.
Baraku Pito.
But I have some funny like Game and Watch. I just have like an amalgamation of his games because it's like there's no like Game and Watch. Like I have a Game and Watch actual physical thing for like the 20th anniversary or 25th anniversary or something like that. So I'd probably end up just playing that. But it only has like ball on it, I'm pretty sure. So you'll be happy to know that Star Fox Zero did make the list, though, Cory.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's 3 Star Fox characters. Let's see what I had for the other ones. Let's see. Let's see. Where the fuck's Fox at? Oh, Fox. Yeah, I already played Star Fox on stream. That's right. And then Falco was Star Fox 64, because, like, that's actually a good game. And then
fantastic game.
For Wolf, I had Star Fox Zero put down. Because, like, realistically, I'm not gonna fucking play Star Fox Assault. That's the only other option, really.
Well, no, there's the DBA game.
Yeah, but, like, that's the only option that I'd be willing to play.
Oh, fair enough.
But for Rob, I had Smash Brothers Brawl Subspace Emissary. That makes sense, right? Like, you can see the links there.
Yeah.
Because, and what I said in the reasoning is, I'm not buying an actual Rob toy. So come on. Sure, see any other like funny ones. Yeah, it's interesting that I actually put down, like, so for Cloud I have Final Fantasy VII, and then for Sephiroth I have the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Makes sense, you get it. But it's interesting that I actually had it all the way down to Sora on here. I didn't think. I was like, when did Sora release?
I don't think Sora was the last DLC character, or like next to last.
It was the last one. Sora / Ultimate release date October 2021. So I was updating this thing back in 2021. I updated this list.
Dang, throwback.
I was still hoping to do this back in.
Yeah, because I think I'd already moved to I think I'd already moved out of the state by that point. Yeah,
The
because it was
reasoning,
late 2020 when I moved.
yes, the reasoning for Byleth Three Houses being fuck because I didn't want to replay through Three Houses.
Oh yeah, because you would because you had just played it.
But there's so many. Yeah, Fire Emblem's probably the most that are in the red on this, just because like and I'm not even joking. I went to so many around. I live in Florida, the capital of Florida, and around here, we have a lot of like hole in the wall game stores or whatever. Like around a dozen, at least before COVID, pre-COVID. I don't know how many now, but
Mm-hmm.
I would always go around to them and try to find the Fire Emblem games that I didn't have. Like I literally just go through and try to be like, "Hey, do you got it? You got Path of Radiance?" They're like, "No, we'll tell you if we get one in." And I'd be like, "No, I'm good." And the funny thing is, Path of Radiance at the time was like $200 if you were able to even find it. Let me look up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see the price of Path of Radiance on eBay right now. $30. This is not. Is this the game? Let me look it up in the actual thing. See, 200, 224, 164. So yeah, it's like this game ain't cheap. Even if it was in the what does it say? No active listings. That would say. This looks like they're selling this thing, like the the banner they got here, not the actual game. Anyway, I think that's what they're selling, but if I sold and complete, it had active listings. It was just like around $200. That's what I'm saying. It's like the games, these Fire Emblem games are not cheap because back when they were, being localized in like the GameCube era and that kind of thing, Nintendo made like 100 copies. So
Yeah, like they weren't big buster nutters till Awakening hit.
yeah, so they're like these games are not cheap if you can find them. So that's why a lot of them I'm like emulate, or like a lot of them I had Wii U because I think that they had like Wii U versions, but now I can't get those anymore. Oops. Shame on that one.
Not without resorting to means.
But the point was to legally get the games.
Yeah, I know.
Every time I had to emulate a game, it was a failure of not my own, is what I'll say. Like Mother 3.
It was
like,
a failure on Nintendo's part.
Like I had to emulate Mother 3. There's no way around it. Like you can't do anything about it. I mean, technically you can get the ROM physical edition, like you said, but that's still not like physically getting the Nintendo release of the game. I wanted to as many as possible get like the actual releases.
Yeah.
But if I were to do this again in the modern day, that probably wouldn't be the case. I'd probably just emulate whatever the fuck I fucking like. We've changed. We've changed.
Yeah, I mean, like we're at the point where like especially like post-COVID collector booms that like even the games that like have no reason to be that expensive like are that expensive. Yeah. Like yeah, it makes sense for like Path of Radiance, or is that the first one? Whatever the first Fire Emblem game with Ike was. It makes sense for that to be expensive because it was like kind of a limited run and it hit its stride way later in life.
Yeah, like
but like everything else,
you can understand why it costs so much in like the physical realm.
But like if you're wanting to get like a physical copy of like a Pokemon game, like there's no reason for that to be expensive. Yeah, they're popular, but like there were so many of those ding dong diners.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, there's not a total unrealistic version that I could return to this eventually one day, but that'd be if next year I really start hitting my stride and I actually start streaming and doing YouTube videos and stuff, then maybe it's a possibility. But realistically, what I'm looking to do next year is to get an actual job, which is what I was looking to do this year, and it never happened. But like, why is Pokemon expensive? That's one thing that I'm like, doesn't make sense to me, because there are so many fucking copies of the Pokemon games out there.
Yeah. Well, it's like literally because like the collector boom happened with COVID, where people were like, there was like some legitimate like extra interest in getting the games, and speculators can take advantage of that to like jack up the prices. And once they jack up to a certain point, they're never really gonna go down.
Ooh, here's an interesting one from the list. We got Isabelle. Animal Crossing New Leaf, and it's the reason why it says the only Animal Crossing she's in. Well, that's changed. Hold up.
That's right. She's in Pocket Camp.
So true. They released the single player version of Pocket Camp.
Yeah, which is actually so cool of them to do. Like,
yeah, it actually is a cool
legitimately so fantastic. Thank you, EU regulations.
But yeah, it's if I were to ever stream again, there's a possibility this could happen, but I'm not a streamer anymore, At least I don't view myself as one.
Yeah.
But who knows? In these next months, like AJ says, in 4 days, I'm going to be a full-time content creator, so...
Yeah, bro, if you just, like, happen
Dude, imagine I finally start committing to, like, full-time content creator, and then like finally a job is like, hey, like I finally get a job, like right after I do that. I'd be fucking mad. Like,
okay, but like maybe that's why you need to do it, right? Like you need, like there's nothing the universe loves more than kicking you in the taint, and so like if you just if you present, the universe will take.
Well, you know what? Let's hold on. Let's do not that. Let's do that. Let's check, because I do a wrap up stream every year, and I've already written the one for this year. So why don't I just fucking do it while I'm here?
Oh yeah, like why not? Why not?
Get out of the way. Let's see if we get a better capture for this actually. That's better. It's a little closer. Making YouTube masterpieces to get a job. I mean, it wouldn't be to get a job. It would be the joke is that I'd start making YouTube videos, and then right as I start doing it and actually committing to it, like I'd get a job. Sweet. Listen, 2024, it was a year. I didn't actually play a lot of games this year, but here let's go through, as is tradition. Not you reading the second part first, though. You making fun of me? We should all stream again? Hey, dude. You need to mess with the balance of things to get a job? Listen, I was thinking about like how we used to all stream back in like we had like a streaming culture around our group of friends where we'd all stream and stuff, and now it's just gone. They don't do it anymore. Yeah. It's like it's not a thing. Nobody streams anywhere besides like Jesse, who does like late night VR chat music videos. Basically, that's all he does.
Yeah.
Anyway, my game of the years this year, in no particular order. First off, Balatro. Have you played Balatro yet, Cory?
I have not, because I don't want to see what'll happen to my life if I start.
It's so good. Balatro is so fucking good. Such a fun game. Very enjoyable. You love to see it. You love to play it. It's great. It might be my number one of the year. It might be. But, there's some other stuff in here that's also very good. We got the Bazaar up next. It's a auto battler, which I usually hate auto battlers, but the Bazaar's been doing something for me. It's been doing something for me because I think the difference is you can actually play stuff in between. Or not play stuff, but I mean like you can do stuff in between besides just looking for upgrades to your single like units, which is what every auto battler feels like. But the Czar, like, you do other stuff in between, and I kind of like that about it. That's a big difference. I don't know, I've been having a lot of fun with it. Balatro is iconic? Yeah, no, it's popped off. A single developed indie game that has like made its way into the cultural zeitgeist is always something to celebrate. Your Stardew Valleys, your I was gonna say Minecraft, but it really wasn't single developed, and also like we don't celebrate the dude who made that. Your Spelunkies, I guess. Speaking of, up next is UFO 50 from the creator of Spelunky. 50 tiny indie games based off of the NES and SNES era. It's a great game. Fun as fuck. A bunch of different games. If you don't like the game, you go on and there's 49 other ones to go play. So, and they're not they're not micro games like everyone thought when the pack was like showing off that it was going to be a bunch of micro games, but it's not. It's actually 50 full ass games. People are addicted to UFO 50? Yeah, dude, UFO 50 is fucking great. The music it's goated. Like the whole game is goated. It's hard to release nothing but bangers, but I'm pretty sure Derek Yu has done just that. He only has released Spelunky 2, and UFO 50. Am I right, Cory?
I haven't played any of those, but I am, as far as I know, they're all bangers. Welcome home, my beloved.
Well, we just said the funny ad break. So hold on, I gotta wait a minute for that to end.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be right back. Anyway.
Dude, I was thinking of ad breaks too. Cause like ad breaks, you as a smaller streamer, you kind of need to do ad breaks to make it so that people don't like random people who try to come to your stream don't just come in and like see an ad and then just click off immediately, because that's what people do if you're a smaller streamer.
I'm back. Hoo boy, good thing those ads are over.
There's still like a minute and a half ads.
No, I know.
It's
disgusting.
Like, yeah, like, so as a smaller streamer, you kind of have to do it. But here's what I was thinking of. Because when you reach a certain point, I guess, you shouldn't have to run ads anymore because you're out of ad hell already. It says there's another minute of it. Oh, damn. Lucky. But it says that I'm just talking about how I think the ad culture around Twitch is now, because you have to run ads if you're a smaller streamer, because that way you don't have preload ads for like an hour, so people can actually come to your stream. 5 small ads. I think you got lucky. But it's so people don't have to view ads before your stream when they come in, like a random person who just randomly comes over in Twitch. Here's the thing that I've been thinking about, though. It doesn't really make a lot of sense because, first off, Twitch has fucking horrid discoverability. The discoverability on Twitch is like disgusting. The only reason if you're a solo Twitch streamer and you are just like dicking around, the only reason you get viewers on your stream 95% of the time is either A, they came from another platform like YouTube or some other social media, or B, somebody has rated you from Twitch. And in the case of them coming from another platform, they're probably going to stick around past the ad break or past the ads at the beginning because they want to actually see you, because they came from a different platform to view you specifically. When it comes to the rating, that's where it's like, okay, you probably want to run ads so they don't raid, and then like however many people that just came in the raid just now have like in a minute of ads or whatever. You probably don't want that. But
what it does is like it makes it so that every hour you have 3 minutes of like forced downtime where the people who actually want to watch you and are there but don't have enough money to like pay for subscriptions or like Twitch Turbo or whatever are forced to watch ads even though they want to watch your stream. I was like, that's kind of lame as hell. So I think if I do get back into streaming, I don't know how I'm gonna like if I'm even gonna run hourly ads.
Yeah,
because it's like literally all situations except for if somebody raids me, it's fine. If somebody raids me, obviously I'd be like, well, I'm eating the bullet on that one. But if okay, AJ. No, if like I'm just doing it for people that I want to like I just want my viewers to enjoy my stream, then I don't want to be running ads every hour because they're going to have less enjoyment of the stream because they're going to be forced to not watch it. I guess. I don't know. That's a weird mentality I've been thinking about involving that. But anyway, moving on to games I liked. Access Unseen, great. Another solo indie project from a dude who left Bethesda. Fun little like stealth archer action shooter horror thing. Really fun. Had a lot of fun with that one. Very, very neat, like Metroidvania-esque, open world-esque thing. Reminded me of a lot of older games, like a Morrowind, which we will see mentioned again. The Rise of the Golden Idol, sequel to the other Golden Idol game. Great game. If you like Obra Dinn, you will like this game. It is great. It is a mystery-solving game where you fill in the blanks. A lot of fun. That's all I have to say on that. Path Exile 2. Fantastic game so far. I've never played Path Exile 1. So, you know, the losers over who played Path Exile 1, who are all complaining about Path Exile 2, get the fuck out. Path Exile 2 has been a lot of fun. I've been enjoying it. Really been having fun with that game so far. We'll see once I get into the late game, which is what people are complaining about. And Dread Delusion, another Morrowind-inspired indie RPG. Fantastic, finally fully released this year. Holy shit, what a fun game. I have not finished it yet, but I'm certified in saying that it's a banger, even without finishing it. It's a great game. And then the final in my game of the years, My Sims Cozy Bundle. What the fuck?
that can't be real, right?
So My Sims game is games I played as a child and I really liked. I wasn't a huge Sims head as a kid, but I did like the My Sims games at least. And to be fair, I did like Sims 3 when I was younger, so you know I can't say I wasn't a huge Sims head. But they released My Sims and My Sims Kingdom on the Switch, and so I bought it for like $25 or something, I think. And I played.
Oh, My Sims was actually like good though.
Yeah, I played My Sims. I had a lot of fun with it. I like 100%ed it, and I haven't played My Sims Kingdom yet, but I'm sure I'll get around to it eventually when I feel like I need something to just chill out and play. The spy ones, I think those are later. My Sims and My Sims Kingdom are like you're just a builder. You know, like a Minecraft builder. You build things.
Yeah, My Sims Agents came out right after My Sims Kingdom, I think.
There you go. But yeah, those My Sims and My Sims Kingdom were the only ones that I played as a kid. So I was like, when I saw that, I was like, let's go. Poggers. Foul flat for me this year. It's a category where it's stuff that I don't necessarily think was bad, but I just don't like. Nothing happened this year that I disliked, really, which is great. You love to see it. It's great for that to happen in a year where my real life isn't going that great. But we'll get to that later. And then the need to play category is stuff that I didn't get to play this year, but I saw or I purchased, and I'm going to play later. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. This is something. It's almost like a joke on all of these Game of the Year streams. I'm pretty sure I have a Yakuza game on there every year. It's because I need to play those games. They're great games, and I just haven't played enough of the series.
We're planning to get into Yakuza next year. My wife is really wanting to play one of them.
Yakuza 0
I don't remember
is
if it was
like
a specific one or just generally.
Yakuza 0 actually made me bawl my fucking eyes out, so I'll say that. So, that's my recommendation for Yakuza.
Okay.
Universe for Sale is
I'll tell my wife you
Yeah. No, I mean like.
Tell my wife that you didn't recommend that one because that'll probably make her more likely to play it.
No, I mean it's great. The whole series is, from what I know. But Universe for Sale is a tiny little indie game that I kind of picked up during something. I think it might have been a Humble Bundle. But it looked really neat, and I just never get around to playing it, so that's why it's here on the list. That's the whole point of it. Brighter Shores, the newest Gower release from the creators of RuneScape, comes a new MMO. It, on release, looked really rough, and it needed some sanding out, and immediately after, for like the next 2 months, literally every day they've been releasing patches, so I'm like, I need to try this out one of these days and get it through my skull, whether I want to play this or not, because I'm a RuneScape player. I was literally playing this right before the stream. A new RuneScape? Yeah, I mean, it's literally what it is. It's a new RuneScape, and I think the first 2 like areas of the game, which are like hours of content, are free, so free to play, so you don't need to pay anything for it. But yeah, so that's something I got to check out probably this upcoming year. Dragon Quest III HD 2D. I've played. I played a couple hours of this already. I cannot lie. I got called out by the game, and I got. Have you ever played Dragon Quest III, Cory?
So I'm actually planning to go through a lot of the older Dragon Quest, starting with that one as soon as I get around to buying it.
Well, you should probably hold off on the
really
first 2 till they do the HD releases on those as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm planning on.
Because the first 2 games are fun, like short little experiences, but they aren't really Dragon Quest games. They're like they're a little different. But the third one's like the first like actual Dragon Quest game. It's very good. And the Dragon Quest III, how it starts out is it gives you a personality quiz. I don't know what I've gotten in the past on the little personality quiz at the beginning of Dragon Quest III, but this time it kind of called me out and pissed me off a little bit. Because it called me out directly and basically told me something, and it made me a little mad, but it was like, you know what, I can't be mad at you for telling me the truth at the end of the day. It did get read. It did get read. It's like there's like 60 or 70 different personalities it can hit you with, depending on like your choices. Like it gives you a little personality quiz, and then it makes you play through like the scenario, and then it tells you like, oh, you're one of these. Like, here's how you think in the real. And it's like, fuck you, game. If it gets it right, it gets it right, you know. So it made me a little angry. It called me an idealist, which at the first I was like, I'm not an idealist. You're fucking wrong. And then it was like, you expect too much of yourself and others, and because of that, it like leads to analysis paralysis. And I'm like, fuck you, game. Like, you're a piece of shit. So yeah, no, I mean, but I did play through the first for 10 hours, and I'm probably going to end up playing more of that, putting more time into it. Less of a need to play and more of a I'm going to be playing this later, but I just thought I'd mention it because I haven't played enough to say it's my, in the game of the years category. Caribbean Legend, it's a little, I love pirate games. It's a little pirate game. There's some indie studio. They just haven't gotten around to playing it. That's basically it. And then Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree. I haven't played it yet. The DLC. Oops. Although there's a new Elden Ring that's going to release, the co-op one, the 3-player co-op one. Hey, Cory.
Wait, is that a new game or is it another DLC?
It's a new game.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know if you saw, but it's a 3-player co-op roguelike taking place in the Elden Ring world where yeah, it's 1 or 3 players. You can't do 2-player, unfortunately. Weird. But each time you play, it's like you play for a few days in game, and it randomizes like what bosses you have to fight and like what gear you get and that kind of thing. And it includes bosses from previous Souls games. Like in the trailer, we saw Nameless King and Duke's Dear Freya. So
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
So,
See,
yeah.
I remember remember seeing stuff about like old bosses being in there. I remember seeing that it was like Elden Ring. I did not realize that's actually what it was. That sounds so lit. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
definitely gonna
it
play
sounds
that.
interesting. I'm a little wary of it just because it's not developed by FromSoft, I don't think. It's developed by a third party. But they're using like
Yeah.
the engine and the proprietary and stuff, and they're like bringing old bosses in. So
Yeah.
it could be good or it could be awful. We don't know yet. We could like closer release. They'd be like, we got loot boxes for Shadow of the Erd Tree, whatever the fuck it's called. Like, could be fucking terrible once it comes out. But wasn't the last game you
But
did?
if it's good, it sounds like it'll be really
Yeah,
good.
no, it sounds like it'll be good if it's good. Wasn't the last stream you did the Assassin's Creed game where you go around and find music? So it was the Assassin's Creed for Black Flag, and that's not the goal of the game, but it was the goal of my stream, and I did find the sea shanty that I wanted, and that's why I stopped playing the game, because I had no more motivation to play it after that point. I was thinking about that. I was like, damn, probably should have streamed more of that game, and I was like, but I found the thing that I want. And I was like, why was that my motivation to play the game, was to find Drunken Sailor? That was my only motivation. But I digress. So moving down the list, we have others and honorable mentions, which I want to get to real quick. These are games that I couldn't fit into the other categories for whatever reason. First off, Steins Gate. They're getting a re-release next year, I think, which will be cool.
That's
Steins Gate is a great game with like one of the best stories ever. If you like sci-fi and time travel, it's actually a good time travel story, which is rare. So I replayed it this year because of like people in my friend group are replaying it and stuff, and like the remakes are coming out. So I replayed it this year. Bad idea. Really did not help. Really did not help my mental. Really fucking put me in a bad death spiral for a bit. I have not gone back and beaten it just because it kind of like put me in a really bad pace mentally after playing it, because I played it this year. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna hold off on that. So you're gonna play Chaos Head and Robotic Notes, maybe. I mean, it's definitely not a on-stream game for me personally. I mean, maybe, but it's like one of those things where it's like a lot of the emotions it makes me feel are very personal. Is what I'll say. That's a part of the reason why I think it was a bad idea for me to play it this year. So oops.
whoops.
I just wanted to mention it because it did. It's part of that mental overhead that I've been accruing this whole year. Dragon Age: The Veilguard. I'm a big Dragon Age fan. I didn't end up playing this game. I almost put this in the fell flat category, but I didn't end up playing it. I ended up refunding it before I played it because I had it like pre-ordered on day one, but then the reviews came out, and the reviews, usually when something's reviews come out and they're poor, so whatever, it's like I'll play the game myself and experience it. But the reviews came out and they were like, the character writing is awful. That's a red flag for for a Dragon Age game. So I looked up videos of the characters talking to each other, and it was some of the worst shit I've ever seen in my life. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to return this and not even think about the game. And it turns out, yeah, the writing was like atrocious for a BioWare game, especially. The writing is apparently like one of the worst things people have ever seen written down. You can return it. Yeah, on Steam you can return things as long as you haven't played it for too long, that kind of thing, usually. They're pretty lenient on it. But yeah, Dragon Age: The Veilguard, I ended up not playing it, which is a real disappointment because I really liked what they set up in the last Dragon Age game, even if it was kind of a disappointment compared to other Dragon Ages. But I ended up not putting it in fell flat just because I didn't care that much, I guess. At the end of the day,
I know. I do have some friends that were like big Dragon Age people, and I know they were having fun with the game. But I also only saw them talking about things they did and saying absolutely nothing about the story or characters.
I heard that the game redeems itself in the third act a bit, so that's the only reason why I still had a little bit of interest in it, is because apparently it redeems itself in the third act with like decent writing, but I don't know if that's enough to make me actually play the game. We'll see. But in the future, in the far future, if that happens. The other thing that almost made it into Fall Flat was Endless Ocean Luminous, which is apparently a remake of Endless Ocean. And I say apparently because I don't know if it is or not, because there wasn't enough coverage for this game, because it seemed to be... So I liked the original Endless Ocean as a kid and the sequel to it on the Wii, but I ended up not playing it, and not playing this remake because, yet again, there's a lot of negative press around it, and like the controls are apparently garbage. And if you know one thing about the Endless Ocean original game, is that the controls weren't great. It was kind of a struggle the whole time. So I ended up not playing this. So it's like one of those things where it's like, I don't know. I don't even know much about the game, but I couldn't put it in like the Fall Flat category just because I don't know about it. Like I threw it somewhere else for now. Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom.
I was thinking about getting that, but
oh yeah.
Because like I know, like my mom was a huge Endless Ocean fan back in the day, and I never played too much of it, so I was thinking about getting it, but also like did not have the space for it, and I didn't hear great things, so I'm like,
right. And yeah, apparently it's not like the first two games, like exactly. So I don't know. Yeah, that's my thoughts on it are just kind of like I felt like putting it on the list just because I wanted to mention it, but not enough to disparage it or praise it or anything like that. The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. Everyone's praising this game is great. I tried to play Link's Awakening again, the remake again, because I was like, well, I should play that first. Got through about half the game and then stopped playing it again. So that's basically where I'm at with that. Maybe one day I'll play it, but it's like, I don't know. I don't.
I'll pop in for a second to talk about Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom as someone who's played like half of it.
Here's the guy
best Link we've ever had in the series. Yeah, best Link we've ever had in the series. The game is an absolute joy to play. It is still definitely like another Zelda game that's been made after Breath of the Wild. So like,
yeah, that's part of the reason why I wasn't like hopping out of my seat to play it.
Yeah,
the
same
Breath of the Wild
pitfalls.
DNA
So like,
over everything Zelda now, and it's going to be that way for the future. So
yeah, it is not as, I don't think it's as great as it could be, but it is still like really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
best Link we've ever had, by the way. Best Link.
Mm-hmm. So the final thing I wanted to mention on this other/honorable mentions is Game Informer. So this year, Game Informer, after over 30 years of being in the business, doing magazines and having their website and stuff, shut down. Now, this really isn't that big of a deal. I'll talk about metaphor in a second, but this really isn't a big deal from the aspect of like there's so many different game companies that or game coverage companies that cover games and like do that kind of stuff, but the difference is Game Informer always had really nice articles, and it also always had really nice cover art for their magazines that I really enjoyed, and that's why I have a lot of them as a kid. And I was actually cleaning out my room this year, and I found my old stack of Game Informer magazines, which with a lot of like really old covers from like great games. Like I have the original like Skyrim cover, which is like a really nice one, and like a lot of different ones in there in the stack that I just found. And it got me thinking, like, I'm really sad to see them go, because they're also like, they also had the website where they had I wonder if they're archived, probably, but they also had the website where it has all the stuff on it, and it has like all these articles and stuff, and actually I use them as a resource every year. Funnily enough, when I'm making my wrap-up stream, every year I'd use them to go back and look on the releases in 2024, because they had a really nice comprehensive list that they filled out at the beginning of the year, and then they'd go through during each month and like change what actually released and what got delayed and like what other stuff came out that wasn't on the like release radar before that. And so they do that, and so each year I'd have a nice comprehensive list of all the stuff that released each year, and like when it released on what platforms and that kind of thing from Game Informer. They did a really nice like write-up on it. And I kind of missed that this year when I was making this list, because I was like, oh, I'm going to go to the Game Informer website. And I went there and it was like, oh, we're out of business now. I was like, oh, like they're the primary resource I use to make this list itself that I'm reading off of with these games, because, you know, they were the ones who did it the best, in my opinion. So it kind of made me sad.
2024 has been so long. I thought that happened like 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, it happened this year. It made me a little melancholic when I realized like I had to source myself for all these games and find which games I'd played this year and that kind of thing, instead of like using their like really comprehensive and well done list that they usually do every year. So I was kind of sad. Yeah, and so yeah, and that especially stung when I said like I was cleaning my room and I found all those old magazines with all the really nicely done covers for a lot of games. So. It's one of those things where it's like out with the old, you know. Its time came and gone. You know, the old Nintendo Powers and stuff. Do you keep the? Yeah, I have all the magazines still. Maybe one day I'll show them on stream or something. Some of the better ones. But yeah, it's like a whole like I want to say like maybe 50 or so magazines that I have. Yeah, maybe someday I'll show them on stream. No, I didn't throw it away. I just found them while I was cleaning my room, and it kind of made me remember them. And I was like, oh yeah, they got closed down this year. So it's not like I'm loyal to the Game Informer brand, but they were a resource that I used, and I think they were better than some other competitors that are still around to these days. Like the fact that IGN is still like a thing is baffling to me.
Yeah.
Because even like
throw back to that one time they reviewed a porn app for the PS3.
But like even something like Kotaku, which I'm pretty sure doesn't exist in large part anymore. Like back when Kotaku was a huge thing, it had like really great like individual people who were in there who, despite Kotaku itself being ass, the individual people who came out of that are some like really good like video game writers and that kind of thing, and like people who you know, are in the scene, and just because they were on Kotaku doesn't make them bad or anything, but like they came from Kotaku, and you know, like Tim Rogers is the one that I'm thinking off the top of my head who does really good YouTube video essays where he just like goes into different game subjects and like why a specific game is good for like 2 hours. Like he did one. I can't even think of the name of the game, but it's like an old Japanese game where you play as like a kid just enjoying his summer vacation, and like he did like a 2 hour long thing about like how it makes him feel melancholy and like the different stuff, and like such a good video. And he came from Kotaku, and the reason why I found him, Boku no Yatsumi, that's it. And the reason why I found him is because he did a Dragon Quest review for Kotaku one day, and I was like, damn, this is really good, and like so I just ended up finding his channel off of that. And so it's like you have these that old kind of like the Escapist and like Game Informer and Kotaku and that kind of old like websites where you had this collections of people. This is dead now, and they've been gone for a bit now. And so like after especially after COVID, it's like seeing kind of realizing with Game Informers that the death of all of these places is kind of like fully realized, I guess. Because there's not really much left. The only ones left are like shit like IGN, where it's just literally there to pump out a number for a review.
Yeah.
And sell stuff. Sell merch. Sell shitty Funko Pops, basically. That's the whole reason why IGN exists, basically. So, I'm a little sentimental about it because it's not something that exists. You have to go around and find, you know, people on like YouTube now and like Doldrum YouTube channels to find the interesting stuff now, where it's like before Kotaku wasn't a great site, but I could go onto Kotaku and I could see like a bunch of different articles written by different people who had different opinions about different things that were all really interesting. You can't do that anymore. Like you have to go find like recent smaller YouTubers I found, like 2C Phoenix, which I recommended to you, Cory, and you liked, the guy who does the game breakdowns.
Oh yeah,
just like a random YouTuber that I've happened to come across in the timeline people like Adef, who I recommended to you as well, like where he's just like a really big nerdy Pokemon guy, where he does like all these different Pokemon related stuff and like this mathematical equations to figure out like which Pokemon could actually use fly and that kind of thing, and like that, all these different kind of like small YouTubers that you have to find now. The landscape is a little different from like you being able to find a platform that enabled these different people to do that kind of thing, I guess. Too many YouTubers are just right-way drama baiting to trust. I mean, you gotta fix your YouTube recommendations, brother. YouTube has great features these days to avoid that shit. Yeah, your algo must be busted. Because YouTube has some really great features where I have managed to fix my YouTube a bit. Because I used to get recommended. I'm not recommended them at all. Good. But I used to get recommended them a bit. But YouTube does this thing now where you can block people and you can say like the reason why you're not interested in them, and like you can block whole channels or block specific videos, or you can like remove a video from your recommended because you've already seen it and that kind of thing. Like it's very, you see a ton of, yeah, like there is that, definitely that these days, but it's really easy to avoid them. A lot easier than a lot of other people think. Obviously, if you're like a dumb kid watching YouTube, like it's a lot easier to get sucked into the right-wing pipeline, but in my opinion, it's not that hard to avoid if you're using your brain a little bit.
Yeah, it's not that hard to avoid like your feed being overrun with it, but it's like there's still that like element of like every time you see a new person and think about checking out, you're like, man, I hope this is okay.
Yeah. Man, I hope they don't become, JonTron or whatever. But I digress. So moving on for me is the last little section I have called Future Plans, and I do this every year. I saw a clip of him yesterday. Oh no. But Future Plans, I do this every year, and usually it's just like a little 1 or 2 note thing where I just say like, this year I'm gonna do some more streams and do some more YouTube. That's usually what it is. But this year
I'm gonna kill a baby.
This year I wrote a lot less in the games categories because I played a lot less, and that's because I've been thinking a lot more about. That's because I've been doing a lot more in my personal life, not via my own volition. So this Future Plans category has a bit more going on in it this year than in previous years. So the first thing on the docket for Future Plans for me is 2024 as a year for me versus 2016. So let me take you back. The worst year of my life that I've ever lived has been 2016. It's a year after I graduated high school. I had come back from college. The first semester of college, I had failed my classes, and I had dropped out because I didn't feel like I was able to do it. Now looking back on it, thank God I had dropped out, because I'd be fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt if I had stayed there at that college that I was at. And I probably still wouldn't have enjoyed it that much. So thank God I ended up going the route I did go. But back then, I was really depressed. I didn't want to do anything. I hated myself and a lot of other things. And it was definitely the worst year I've ever been living. Is 2016. I had to go actually in, to get psychiatric help and that kind of thing, and like take medicine and all that stuff. So definitely for me, the worst year I have been alive. So why am I comparing it to this year? Well, this isn't the worst year I've been alive, but this is the second worst year I've been alive, in my opinion. There's been a lot of ups and downs this year, and not a lot of personal progress has been made as myself, despite the fact that for this whole year I've done nothing in the vocational wise. You know what I mean? Like there's been no progression of my vocational skills. There's been no. Okay, Mario. Like, listen, Mario Odyssey, you don't have to play the fucking victory music because I'm speaking right now.
Man, my life sucks.
But it's like I haven't progressed as a person this year, despite the fact that I haven't been doing anything in my industry, I guess. Or like I don't have a job, and despite that, I didn't do anything. I didn't make any personal projects really this year. I made like one YouTube video that I edited. Besides that, I've done like a dozen streams, maybe at most. I guarantee you at least 90% of those were with Cory, also on the call like he is right now. So
shout out Hunter reviews.
It's like I didn't do anything this year, despite the fact that I haven't been doing anything this year, I guess is what the point I'm trying to get across. I haven't been doing anything this year. So you think when you're not doing anything as a worker drone in the world as it is right now, you'd be doing something, personal. Like I'd be working on some personal projects. I'd be making some games. I'd be writing some stories. Something, even as small as making a YouTube video or streaming, once a week. But I haven't been. So what the fuck has been going on? Why has this year been so bad for me? Well, I've sort of been trying to explore these past few months. What's going on? And, the first step into understanding this is the dreaded job hunt. So I've been
looking for jobs is a full-time job.
I've been hunting for a job this whole year. Every day I wake up, besides weekends, but sometimes on the weekends I still do it. Every day I wake up and apply to 3 to 5 jobs at minimum. They could be jobs that I don't think I have any chance of getting. They could be jobs completely out of my industry. It doesn't fucking matter. I want a job. And I don't want to work at the Publix down the street as a stalker. That's the tall and short of it. Is I've been doing that this whole time, and it's fucking demoralizing. And this next year, I'm going to get a job and sentence. If that job does end up being me at Publix stocking shelves, so fucking be it. At the end of the day, I have to do something. I can't just sit here and do nothing. So. Yeah, baby steps. It'll be something to actually be working, especially because now that I haven't been working for a whole fucking year, people looking at my applications are going, "Why the fuck? This guy's worked for a whole fucking year. Why do we want to hire him?" Like, so that's the first step in understanding is like me applying to a job every single day, 3 to 5 usually, and not getting anything. So then, the next step in understanding this a little bit is the failure of my achievement list. So I haven't talked about this much on stream because I haven't been streaming. I did talk about it on one stream though. Right after I'd made it, I was a bit motivated and I had streamed right afterwards. This was actually during the time of the Assassin's Creed 4 streams when I streamed those. I made an achievement list for myself this year. Which is a bit of a gamifying way of doing different stuff. And I ended up not doing a lot on it. I'm not going to show it here on stream because a lot of it's personal. But I ended up not doing a lot of it. I ended up doing like 10% of it at most. So I didn't really do a lot of this list that I had made for myself, which is wild because going into this next year, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to try it again. And the reason why is because I think I understand a bit of the failures with it this year. So a lot of the early parts of the list were like simple stuff, like get a job. It's so simple. And other stuff in that category, like, like get in an exercise routine where I can do that kind of thing. And those steps weren't difficult for me to achieve besides the get a job one, but we already talked about that. They weren't difficult for me to achieve broadly. But then as we move up, some of them were like, get a YouTube, like get, either on YouTube or Twitch have a total of like 10,000 followers or subscribers is like one of the far-reaching like end of the line goals that I didn't even know if I'd achieve or not, but I put it on the list because I wanted to try to achieve it, try to go for it this year. The reason why I didn't do that is because in the middle, a lot of the stuff is consistency checks. A lot of those stuff in the middle are like stream, 3 long form games and 5 short form games or something like that. And while holistically, kind of in the back, I understand why I put those there. I think the issue is the consistency checks can't be baked into this kind of achievement thing because then it makes it when I'm not consistent, I don't want to do it. When I don't have that consistency, I don't want to work on making that consistency because I don't want to do it anymore. Like, if that makes sense. If I have something that says, no, go on.
If you're not already doing it, then that means you've already failed at it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, well, nothing to do here.
Yeah. And like I had some things that were like there was one like make a YouTube video every other week for like 2 months or something. Well, you know, I'm looking at that in November, like I can't fucking do it. Like it's too late now, you know, and I already didn't want to do it earlier because I was like, well, I'll do it later. And like there's if I push off something and then I can't do it later, or if there's something that's like do something monthly and I end up not doing it that specific month, then I'm like, well, now I have to like do it next month and the month, and like it dilutes the fact that I have something that I want to achieve. And I think the way around it is to make it sure the consistency checks aren't baked into the actual like quote unquote achievements themselves that I can do, but rather there's something that while I'm working towards those achievements are incentivized for me to do, so that when I achieve that thing, I've already been working on that consistency. Because to me, there are 3 things that are important to working in any type of field or any type of skill. And it's the 3 kind of pillars, and it's talent, time, and consistency. If you have the talent, which can be worked on to make it better, if you have the time, which obviously you need time to work on something, and you have the consistency, then you can get better at anything and like actually be something in whatever industry you want to be, basically. And to me, that's why I made the list the way I did, because I'm like, I need to be consistent. That's a big thing that is core to my belief, that I need to be consistent to be better at something, and unfortunately approached it from the wrong angle, basically. I guess is what I'll say.
Yeah, because if you like bake into it, like, okay, I'm going to be consistent, that's going to be my achievement, and then you don't hit it, you've kind of already lost it.
Mm-hmm.
So this year you're kind of thinking that like, okay, your achievements list isn't going to focus on that at all, and then when you're working on consistency, that'll be its own separate set of goals, like separate from this.
The consistency has to be something that I intrinsically work in while I'm extrinsically working towards that goal, basically. So if I'm like, make a game, if one of my goals this year is make a game, intrinsically I should be dividing that in step by steps, like how do I make the game, like do I watch a tutorial, like that kind of thing, and then I should be consistently like each week doing a certain amount of hours of work on it that aren't specified by the task in the list, basically, which they are right now in the list that I've failed on doing this year. A lot of the tasks are work on something for 3 hours each week, basically. Like a lot of the middle tier tasks are work on something for a couple of hours each week, or work on something weekly, or work on something monthly, or that kind of thing. And that's where I feel like the big failure is, because I would see those and I'd be like, well, it's already Tuesday, you know, like it's Tuesday and I didn't work yesterday on it. So why I'll just wait till next week to do it. That kind of thing, where it's like that mentality.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah. That mentality is not what you need to be doing when you're trying to work towards something. So anyway, I've spent a long time talking on this, but I hope you get what I'm trying to say. And I know like this is a lot of me talking about myself while Cory's also in the call, just sitting here twiddling his thumbs. So I kind of feel awkward about that.
I found a shiny fracture, and now I'm trying for another shiny carbink. So like I'm dibbing.
But the next step in this kind of realization of self-betterment, I guess, I don't even know what to call it. Journal writing. So I've been writing in my journal, like I said. You talking about writing in your journal, doing creative writing, and honestly, that's not a bad idea. I might pivot to that a bit. I've been journal writing when I'm fucking angry, and when I'm confused, when I don't know what I'm... A lot of my writing in my journal is the prose of a 17th century Frenchman who is very angry about the world, basically. It's the best way for me to describe it. It's a lot of big words and a lot of bullshit. And it's me trying to just argue with my thoughts and fight myself. Do you read books? Yes, I do. I do read books. But yeah, no, it's a big thing. And we talked about earlier, a lot of my thoughts this year have also been, while a lot of them have been internal, we talked about earlier, these are book suggestions, poggers. I will take them. But we talked about how earlier in the stream, I think our country's kind of headed towards, actually, this might have been before the stream. so sorry for bringing this up. But our country's kind of headed towards a pivot point where we're seeing the oligarchy in full force. Mask off. Elon Musk is threatening people if they vote for the bill the wrong way, he's going to make it so they're not elected next term with his money, which is literally just an oligarchy. It's not even a democracy. It's just an oligarchy. So that's kind of happening in our country. I think our country's going to reach a pivot point where something's going to happen. Yeah, I mean, everyone hates Elon Musk. He's a fucking total dickhead. The richest man in the world, and he's a total fucking dickhead. Who could have guessed? But it's one of those things where it's like a lot of my writing in my journal as well is like, are these thoughts I'm thinking like bad thoughts? Like, one of the classes I took in college was about terrorism. The class was literally called Terrorism Historical Study or something like that. And one of the things I learned from that class, which is something that I've held true in my belief system, the woke mob wokeified me when I went to college. But the difference between terrorism and revolution is a thin line called public opinion. Depends on the public's opinion whether something is considered terrorism or something is considered a revolution. And I think we're kind of seeing that a little bit with the recent shooting of the CEO, of the healthcare CEO, where despite the fact that a lot of the time I'm not a conspiracy theorist, I'm not like a crazy wackadoo, but every single news report you see on the guy is like he's a murderer. He did this horrible crime and that kind of thing. And every single time you see somebody talking online about him, it's like, let's fucking go. It's very clear there's a dichotomy there between the average person in America and the person who is saying that, like, and the person who the news is made for, I guess. And I'm not, like I said, not a conspiracy theorist, but it's very clear there's a divide here that is going to be very poignantly brought forth in the next few years. And so that's a lot of my journal writing has to do with that as well. Like, what the fuck am I going to do when this shit happens? Like, because something's going to happen at the end of the day. Something's already started to happen. The match has already been lit and the fire is starting to burn, in my opinion. Now, I could be talking doom and gloom here, but I usually try to pull back the veneer a little bit. And that's why I'm trying to say that's why I'm more concerned about how me and my family, my friends are going to deal with this situation rather than like, let's fucking go eat the rich.
Yeah.
People are gonna do something, and I'm not sympathetic to their cause, is what I'll say. But at the same time, I'm trying to focus on myself and how I can be the best person I want to be and how I can move towards the best person I want to be. And I'm trying to think towards the other people in my life and how I can help them do that same thing. It's weird to talk about this right now because it's like I've been discordant with my thoughts and I'm trying to put it down to a point, but it's not going to happen. Like, it's not, the point is not going to be crystal clear no matter how much I talk about what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter that much, I guess. I'm one person. I touch, 2 people in my life that are important to me. But to me, that's something that's...
With consent, I hope.
But that's something that's, while it's not important on the grand scale, it's important to me, and it's important to the people around me, at least I hope. So that's the idea, I guess.
Mind if I pop in for a second here? Just a little,
go ahead.
Just kind of like I really get what you're saying. I think a big point of reminder is that ultimately what's important in life is taking care of ourselves and our families, and where possible your community as well. Mm-hmm. So like, man, it sucks, but being the best person you can be is in itself a revolutionary act. to a certain extent. Helping other people, like,
Yeah, especially if you
that's
hold,
what you want to
yeah.
do in the world.
Yeah, especially if you hold views that are aligned with, the lower class, which you should. Nobody that I'm talking to or in this chat should be holding views that align with billionaires, because nobody here should be one. So, if you are, what the fuck, dude? Why aren't you sending me gift subs? Come on.
Bro,
But-
Elon Musk is the kind of guy who joins a Twitch chat and sends like 100 single bits.
It's like, what? Why is it annoying? I just gave you money. So yeah, moving on. So these are the kind of things that are the building blocks to what I was thinking this year. So here's the pivot point. The kick in the ass I needed. 2 things happened this year. That are kind of major for me. First off, I live right down the street from my parents. I say parents because they bought the house there, but this year my dad was mostly living in it while my mom was a travel nurse. She's been a travel nurse for years now. She was a travel nurse during COVID. And you live alone? No, I do not live alone. I live with my sister, but we live right down the street from our parents, is the point I'm getting at. No, I do not live alone. I live with my sister. She covered the cost of my living during college very graciously, and has still continued to after, while I've been looking for a job. So she's been a very gracious host for that. But my parents moved down the street 2 years ago, and really it was just my dad living here. My mom did travel nurse stuff. She's been doing it since years, like I said, did it during COVID, all that stuff. So she's dyed in the wool travel nurse, because they, that's how they need to have the money to kind of stay afloat, I guess, because my dad's a pastor and pastors don't really make money. So she ended up moving back home this year due to various reasons in my personal life. She ended up moving back home this year, and she is very motivational, is what I'll say. My mom doesn't put up with a lot of shit. So she's been very, I was going to say lenient, but that's not really the word. She's been very understanding of my situation with the job. And she's actually praised me. She said, honestly, if I was in your situation, I would be a lot angry at the world right now. And I'm like, well, thanks. Well, thanks. You haven't seen my writings. But she's like, you're doing a very good job of managing that, but you need to work on yourself, and like, we need to get you working on yourself again. So she's been very much a kick in the ass that I've needed. The other thing is, I do not make aspersions. I do not hide this. My grandfather was one of the rich people. He was a multimillionaire back when he was alive. And he ended up passing pretty early from cancer. And a lot of that money ended up going away to various different things. Be it like the Veterans Affairs, he was a big proponent of that. And a lot of different stuff. But not a lot of the money got sent to our way, basically. And that's part of the reason why my mom had to be a travel nurse for so long. That kind of thing. Where I make no aspersions. I will never be in trouble monetarily in my life. I'll never be a poor person. I'll never be a lower class person. I'll always be an upper middle class person. That's how I've been raised. I've never not had things covered for me. Like I said, when I was going through college, my sister paid for my room and board basically in full for the whole time I was going. Must be nice. Yeah, exactly. I never have laid aspersions to that fact. But this year I was looking for a job the whole year. Didn't have any money. And I'm not going to ask my parents or my sister or any other family member for money, because that's kind of a scummy thing to do, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, sometimes you do need help. And here I am looking at my bank account with a pittance amount of money, one would say, especially for the poors. I can't believe I'm down here with the poors. Looking at my bank account in the double digits even. So yeah, and it's obviously been a bit rough. But the other thing since I'm talking about what kicked me in the ass, the other thing that kicked me in the ass is my grandmother. The woman who was married to my grandfather before he passed. For all intents and purposes, she's my grandmother. I consider her that. She still has a decent amount of money, and she doesn't give it to us. Like, she doesn't like just send us like the money because she feels like it or that kind of thing. Like, she used it for her own stuff. But if I was ever in truly serious trouble and I need to pay back a huge debt, I could ask her like for money, that kind of thing. But I'm not going to. That's not the kind of person I am. But for Christmas, we've been talking, and she knows the deal that I've been looking for a job for the whole year and haven't got anything. For Christmas, she sent me a very sizable amount of money that I wasn't expecting. And almost immediately upon opening the card, like the card wished me good luck and that kind of thing. And I was like, oh, that's sweet. And I saw there's a check inside, and I looked at the check, and I like my jaw dropped, and I like like it's not even a non-zero amount of money. It's a good amount of money. Not like a life-changing amount, but it's an amount that like would cover me for this next year if I were to live very cheaply. So that kind of thing, it immediately kind of like woke me up from a funk, I guess you could say. And I immediately went, what the fuck am I doing? Like, this whole year I've been doing nothing. The most contribution I've been making to anything is like occasional streams with Cory or writing in my journal. And that's basically all I've done this year. Like, what the fuck am I doing? I literally am doing nothing. I'm looking at my bank account with double-digit numbers, and I've just been saved by my grandmother, who very graciously saw that I was in a bad way and helped me out, even though I didn't ask for it and I didn't want to ask for it. Like, she very considerately did something for me, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, why am I sitting on my ass all year? And it just kind of woke me up, I guess. I don't know, like, any other way to put it. It was a dispersion from the illusion, and I know it's kind of cringe to say that the dispersion from the illusion was me getting a sizable amount of money from my family who has money. Like, I'm someone who doesn't have to worry about money in my life, obviously. But it's something that, like, it made me realize money really is, like, the great equalizer. Like, this whole year I've been worried about this job, and why have I been worried about this job? Because I need to make money so I can move out, so I can buy my own stuff. Like, and it's like something, it's obviously so childish to put it into those kind of terms, but it's something that, I don't know. It's like I said, there's no way I can possibly explain everything I've been thinking here.
Yeah, it is worth noting that, like, the act of not having money, like, even if, like, you know, you have other people that are helping you to buy food and rent and all that, like, the act of not having money or the act of having a large debt over your head is itself a huge stressor on your life. That's just kind of like, you know, the way things are set up. So, like, having, like, even a momentary reprieve from that is going to be, like, a very big thing.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like, it's just, like I said, it woke me up from the funk, I guess. I don't know any other way to put it. It woke me up from the funk. And so that's why I started actually writing shit down that was a little less angry and just like vitriolic at the world and revolutionary almost. And I started turning it around and being like, what can I do to focus on myself this next year? So that's why that's where the next parts of these comes in, and the screen capture doesn't capture it correctly, so I'm going to actually just go back to the old one.
Looked over at the screen for a second, and where I saw journal writing, I thought it said John Wick. I don't think that's important. I just wanted to share that little moment in my mind.
Mm-hmm. So the first thing I wrote down was little steps. Now, obviously, everybody knows this. You can't just do like everything at once. You know, you can't just like work out one day for 20 hours and have like abs. You know, first off, you die.
Yeah.
Second
you have
off,
to work out one day for 200 hours.
Yeah. It's like and also you die if you tried that. Can you zoom in on it a bit? Hold on. Let's see if I can actually fix this version of it. That's not what I want to select. whatever. No, love it. All right, there you go. No problem. I mean, yeah, I understand. I just didn't have this correctly set up, basically. But like I said, little steps. Obviously, it seems obvious to anyone who's done anything that you need to work on little steps. But I need to write it down to make sure that I understand the little steps I need to go through. Can you shut the fuck up, Mario Odyssey? But so obviously in these next few things that I'm writing, these are bigger steps that I'm going to take back and kind of contextualize myself, not conjectualize. Actually being active on Twitch, YouTube. I want to be active on it this year. I don't fucking care about my own kind of stuff. I'm going to force myself to be active on these platforms, whether I like to or not, because I can't just sit here doing nothing. You know what I mean? As I've just explained, basically.
Mm-hmm.
The next step, actually being active in making games / other creative endeavors, because I'm a creative at heart, you know, Cory. We're here. You're my brother in arms here. We're creatives at heart, you know.
Creatives of heart bound by
Kingdom Hearts.
the key.
The Keyblade. But I'm a creature of habit, and I'm a creature of creativity. I like creativity. Pre-roll ads are disabled for 60 minutes. Shit, didn't ad break to start? We're right at the end. We're at the thesis point. Yeah, ad break can't start right now. Oops.
That's all right.
That was my bad.
Creatures. It's okay. While the ad is going, so no one has to hear this, you should be thankful that I did not immediately say, we are bound by our chains of memories.
Should I be thankful for that? I'm thankful for a lot of things. You're not in ad hell? Well, you're the only one watching, really. I don't know if anyone else is still here. So if you're not in ad hell, then I'll just keep going. Yeah, so actually being active on Twitch and YouTube, being active on those platforms, being there to do something, even if it's as small as Twitch or YouTube, well, I think will help me out into this next part. Like I said, making games / other creative endeavors. Obviously, I'd put making games as the forefront because I think that's where I have the most skill set attributed to, I guess you'd say. But yeah. That's not to say I won't go out there and create like here comes my webcomic. I don't know. Realistically, probably not going to happen, but
I don't know. Do people read trans or webcomics if they're not about trans people? Those are all the webcomics I'm reading right now, so.
I mean, hey, One Punch Man isn't about trans people, and it's like the most popular webcomic, so.
Oh yeah, that's true. I've actually been reading a decent amount of webcomics recently. They're pretty good. Shoutouts to Aya.
Well, the last thing I put down, besides those 2 points, is I actually want to strive to make 2025 a good year for myself. Exclamation point. The exclamation point is very important because I think it's cringe. But it's important to me because I don't know, because of that cringe aspect. What does a good year mean? That's a good question, because what a good year means for me is one that's not, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be like everything's jolly. I release an indie game in 2 months. I release it at the end of February and it becomes a hit, smash success, millionaire. That's not what a good year means for me. What a good year means for me is probably like 3 things. I feel like I didn't waste this year, which isn't hard to do, in my opinion, if I actually work on stuff throughout the year. 2 is I actually have something that I consider a job whether that be actually working full-time as a content creator, or I actually get a fucking job, which would be really nice.
Yeah, it would be great.
It's something to actually pour aspirations into. You should write that down, define good. I don't know about that. There's
Define the word good.
Look at the Merriam-Webster
2025
definition. But then the third thing is like, also outside of that kind of creative and work aspirations and like that kind of thing. Outside of that, the third thing would probably be like work on my personal life and my relationships with people, I guess. Because that's something that, one of the things I realize as I grow older, and it's been told to me many times by all the media that I produce, and all the people that I live around, and the people that I talk to, and the person in this call with me right now, is that the things that make life worth living is my friends and my family, who I enjoy spending the time with,
Mm-hmm.
who I enjoy, talking about my aspirations or my goals with, who I enjoy being a person with them around. Yes, it's a weird way to put it, and so I'm not a very personable person, but to me, I've lost a lot of friendships in the past through either my means or other means, and to me, a good year for me would be reconnecting with some of those people that I've lost in the past due to my own fault, not due to their fault. If it's their fault, whatever, but due to my own fault, who I've lost connections with, and trying to make a better year for the people that I know and that I know I love, which is a hard thing for me to say because I hate saying that word out loud. I don't know why, but it's like a being pulled on from the neck every time I say it. But there's people like AJ here in the chat, who I saw you stream the other day, and I was joining your stream and I was joking around. But like AJ, me and you don't talk a lot besides like when one of us is streaming. Which sucks. I mean, at the end of the day, you're one of my favorite people in the world, AJ. And it's not something that I say lightly. So it's like, why am I not trying to talk to you more? Why am I not trying to connect with you more? Even if it's just like a message that I send you once a week saying, hey, what's up? How's life going for you? My parents ask me, how are your friends' lives right now? What are they doing? And I go, I don't fucking know. And that shouldn't be my answer. I shouldn't be, where does AJ live right now? I'm not sure. Last time I asked him, it was Georgia. Like, that was years ago. Like, it shouldn't be the answer that I give. I want to sing on Distant on my end, and that's understandable. And like I said, if the person on the other end doesn't want to connect in that way, that's fine. But the issue is, I've realized, not too late, because I'm still alive, I'm still young, I've still got plenty of years to live, that there are other people in the world that I need to make sure that I do my due diligence to make sure that I don't lose them via my own volition. So it's that kind of thing where it's like, I need to work on that individually. And Cory, of course, you're here in the call. They're one of my favorite people.
Yeah. I've been trying to cut this guy off for years.
I know, he won't fucking stop. But it's one of those things where it's like, you're one of my favorite people, and the only time I talk to you is when we're talking about Hunter x Hunter or Kingdom Hearts on a stream. Which is so it's like,
which, to be fair, talking about those things does lead to talking about life, the universe, and everything. So
yeah,
like, kind of works out.
But why can't we just start a conversation out being like, hey, remember that car crash story I was supposed to tell you 2 hours ago that I never told you?
Oh yeah, that's right. I was in a car crash.
I'm like, oh yeah, I remember he was going to tell me that, and then we ignored it to talk about other shit. I don't know, remember, but
it's fine.
It's that kind of thing where it's like,
I barely heard from it anymore. So,
but it's one of those things where it's like, I shouldn't need. Obviously, you can approach someone with a topic in mind, but I shouldn't need to not talk to shouldn't need to have something else in the way to talk to somebody who I find interesting enough to be in my life. I should just be able to talk to that person and say, how's life going? Want to talk about it for a bit? Want to shoot the shit?
I know. Nowadays, it's like, I'm really guilty of this too, obviously. Me and Paul are different people, but have a lot of foibles in common, where it feels like I can't talk to somebody unless I make an event out of it. It's like, should I message him? Well, it's like, okay, let me read a chapter or something real quick. Hey, Paul, have you done it? Like, that's just kind of how I end up being with people a lot of the time. It's like, sometimes, like I vent out of it just to talk to somebody.
Right. And that's like one of those things where it's like, I don't do that. I don't vent about fucking anything to anyone. That's part of the reason why the journal's been a little relieving for me, is because I don't do that in the real world. And my parents are always like, wow, you're always so like tight-lipped, you're always so calm under pressure. And it's like, yeah, because I don't fucking say anything to you. I don't say,
stop it here, baby.
The pressure stops in my mind, you know, when I'm crying myself to sleep at night. That's my own thing. But it's that kind of thing where it's like, I need to connect with people more. And it's something that I started realizing earlier in the middle of this year. And I've kind of come to a point with now where it's like, the people in my life are the most important things. End sentence. I know every single piece of media says it. There's literally not a single piece of media that says otherwise. But, you know, sometimes you got to come to your own realizations a little bit. Because, you know, in my mind, I'm like, oh, okay, I agree with what the media, what those media properties say. You know, friends are everything, family are everything. Enjoy the time with them, that kind of thing. I agree with them all, you know, I agree with them. But in my mind, I'm still doing something different, because in my mind, I'm still living by that, but I'm just not engaging with those friends and family, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a weird way.
There's that old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but please don't waterboard it.
Something like that, yeah. Because then you'd be beating a dead horse.
Yeah. Something about sticks and stones making glue.
Something's about that. Remember when we were talking about this, though? Yeah, the Smash Games list. So
yeah.
So thanks, AJ, for bringing this up. Yeah, you've now caused me to go on this whole diatribe where I went through my whole year in review on the stream. But you know what? I got it done on the stream, so it's done. I didn't have to make a whole nother stream to talk about it.
Yeah. Imagine how awkward it would be if you had to make this video without someone interjecting bad comments every, 3 minutes.
Well, it's like...
That'd be awful, right?
Well, it builds character, you know? I mean, there's a little more character out of this video because there's whole nother character in there.
Yeah. Quite the character he is.
Okay, back. I was blaming you on... because you made me talk about the Smash Ultimate Character Game list. You made me go into the year in review stream thing and start talking about it. That was basically it. Yeah, that's it for me.
All right.
That's really all I had to say. Sorry. Yeah, where's your year in review? You don't do those. You don't do year in reviews every year?
Listen, I don't even know what year it is. Is it 2022?
Like I said, I've been doing mine since 2017, I think. Yeah. 17, 18, 19, 20. It's my 8th year doing this, so.
Yeah. I mean, of course, you know, I like being here because, there is an element to where, I'm going through a lot of the same stuff you are. Obviously, my material conditions are a little different. I have a safety net, but maybe not quite as big a one. I'm also looking for a job in my field and failing. But, I'm also, working another job at the same time. So it's we're suffering differently, but, we're in a similar boat.
Mm-hmm.
And so just know that in all your creative endeavors this year, you have my full goated support. Or is it full-throated?
Huh?
Full-throat goated support.
Well, I apparently earned 1 subscriber in the last 28 days, so that's pretty cool.
Woo!
But no, I'm going. AJ's saying my first video was top 10 Smash Bros. Songs. I don't know what you're talking about. Because my first video is definitely right here.
Top 10 Smash Bros. Songs.
See if I can make it visible on stream. That did not work. Here we go. Right here. Remember what my first video was, AJ, huh? See my first video right here. It's called Update ? First video? What? And the whole joke there was that I made an update as my first video on my channel. That was the whole joke. I was like, imagine how funny it is. I don't even know what AJ's talking about with these top 10 Smash Bros. Songs. I genuinely don't remember what the hell that's from. A Windows Movie Maker compilation of songs?
Did you guys like make that in a computer class? Maybe?
I'm looking. There's no. I don't even have any top 10 videos on my channel. I just looked up top 10 and there's nothing.
Big mistake. That's where you get your numbers from.
Yeah, that's why I'm not popular these days. Because back in 2016, I wasn't making top 10 videos.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna start making, like, if I ever start doing like real like YouTube video essays, I'm gonna make every single one like have a top 10 or a top 5 in the title, and then just never mention it. Like I make that Tales of Symphonia racism vid. Like if I turn that like a rough draft of an essay into a video essay, it's like top 10 moments in Tales of Symphonia that make you go, that's a hate crime.
I said, dude, do it. I'll be there liking the video and saying, yeah, I love hate crimes. I'll find it in an hour after work. I'm either crazy or being gaslit. So like, here's the thing. While you're there finding whatever magical video that I made back in middle school, would you also find the password for the Rage Quit account on Google? So I was thinking about that the other day because I was trying to. I still have like the login for the email itself on my Google. Like it's like, do you want to log into this account? And I'm like, I don't have the password from it. You have it? That's crazy, actually, that you do. I was joking. Yes, that one. You actually have the password for that? What the fuck? You made it? I knew you made it, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you still have the password for it. Because it's still in like my my Gmail list of like accounts to log into. I logged in recently because all my Google accounts got logged out. Ooh, my cookies got eaten. Shaking my head, someone got into the cookie jar. Well, anyway.
Who took cookie from the cookie jar? Doodle.
That's it for me. I'm surprised these dudes that were supposed to come today haven't showed up. They're supposed to show up, and my sister's gonna be pissed because they were supposed to show up. They were supposed to show up like a week before Christmas, and they didn't. So they rescheduled for today.
Last Christmas, I brought you a fridge, and the very next
I have the
day...
Twitch channel password still. Holy, dude, we're gonna remake Rage Quit, new in 2024, or 2025, I should say. It's time for the return.
We're finally done with me on there. We're finally folding Rage Quit into the Wovers.
We had to find the Tri-Recting channel info. Jesse probably has that, if I had to bet. If I had to bet, Jesse probably has it somewhere. He said he lost it? Well, I'm sure we can recover it some way if we really feel like it, but I'm fine with leaving that the way it is. That's a funny... Tri-Recting's a funny little vignette of stuff, so... Thank you for the book recommendation, AJ. The book recommendations. I will definitely check out some of these. Oh yeah, dude. Digital minimalism. I definitely need to read that book because I found myself fucking hating social media these days, and like just every time I go on it, I'm like, man, I fucking hate this shit. So I definitely need to read that book. Give it a nice read.
Yeah, social media is something else.
You know what made me turn on it recently?
Amazing.
Was the Hunter x Hunter chapters we've been reading.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go back to that. But the Hunter x Hunter chapters we've been reading, I went into like, because I would go on Reddit usually and see people's reactions to it. I went on there recently and I'm like, people being the most annoying people possible, because it's something we haven't talked about yet. Or it's something we did talk about for a little bit, which was the Hisoka stuff.
Yeah.
And people just being the most...
Yeah, so I sent you some messages about it, because I wanted to talk about the bestiality Shonen Jump crossovers.
But the stuff related to specifically like the theories that people had about, like, is that really Hisoka before in the previous chapters, and then now it's like proven true or whatever. People on social media are just being the most annoying motherfuckers of all time because of it.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, I don't want to ever go to Reddit ever again. Like, this shit's so annoying. So
finally,
that, and like the fact that Twitter has been decroded thanks to, we mentioned it before, but the world's richest man. Twitter has been fucking decroded.
Yeah.
Self-hosted social media service where it's just like it's just like people basically. That'd be kind of a fun idea. I mean, that's how they all started. I was looking at the One Piece Reddit the other day. You've made a mistake, brother. You went to the wrong place.
Like, I feel like the words One Piece Reddit sounds like I think that sounds like a hate crime to me. Like the phrase One Piece Reddit, hearing that.
Mm-hmm. Make your own Mastodon or whatever, dude. Mastodon. I mean, they got Blue Sky now, which is just the creator of Twitter being like, yeah, I'm just making it again. I'm making it a second time.
Blue Sky is all right. It's all right.
I mean, it's just as bad as Twitter was before it got taken over, which, like, I'm not going to say it was worse than it is now, but it wasn't good.
The only thing about Blue Sky is that, like, we have a little bit before, like, all the, like, the worst accounts come back over there. But, like, they're going to show up eventually.
The only reason why I'm still on Twitter is because I actually have my feed actually tailored in a nice way where I don't see all the horrible shit 90% of the time. It still pops up.
My regular feed is pretty well curated, and I'm still on there mostly because, like, there's certain, like, circles where I get all my news through there, like, especially, like, in the retro game scene for, like, new products and stuff.
For me, it's not even that. It's literally, like, Twitter still has some of the funniest fucking people on it. There's some really funny shit on Twitter that if you can ignore all the horrible shit happening, you can still enjoy it. And I'm sure a lot of people in Blue Sky as well that do the same stuff. But, like, I'm still a firm believer of the funniest guy you've ever met is some dude from 9th grade who now is like a truck driver or something. Like, that's the funniest. Like, 90% of people are funnier than they think, and they just need to actually, like, go out there and be funny, basically.
The guys that go out there thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to be funny, they're the ones you need to watch out for.
Yep.
Because they're not. They're just not. I'm sorry. The guy who, like, posts one joke every 3 years.
Yep.
Every 9 years, one of them's going to be the funniest thing
That's
you've
the
ever
guy
seen.
you want to have on your feed. The guy who makes fucking 17 shit post account that has 17 million views for each of its posts. You don't want to have that guy coming up on your feed. When you see that, it's a failure. It's a failure of feed. Like the CEO. Yes. The CEO. I digress. Anyway, you got anything else to say, Corey? I know this stream became the me show for a little bit there.
I'll say that, like, to a certain extent, I think I'm glad I got to sit in here for this, because, like, a lot of it, like, I feel like right in the there. I don't know if that picked up on the mic, but I beat my chest.
Right in the jostles.
But, like, yeah. But, like, like, I really feel it. And you know what? Like, a lot of the stuff that you're going to try to do this year, I'm going to try to do it too. Maybe not, like, make a game, but, like, put in that work to, like, make something, just do something as opposed to just grinding the days away, barely alive.
So true. Well,
so true, bestie.
He plays all the Wii classics. I don't know. That's another thing that I didn't really mention, but no long form committed series. Like the Smash games list, at least not at first. Maybe something afterwards, but no, not at least not on Twitch. And on YouTube, there's an idea I have in the back pocket that would be a longer series, but we'll see if that ends up happening, because it's easier to curate something like that on YouTube. But I guess, in my opinion, and it's also easier. Like if I'm like, I'm going to do this series on YouTube, I can just like block out like, okay, I need to do like 12 videos of the series and that kind of thing. So I don't know. It's a little different from Twitch. But I digress. Every year I say I'm gonna stream and make more videos. The difference is this year I actually want to. So
yeah.
Unless I get a job. If I get a job in the first 2 weeks, then it probably won't happen. That's the stipulation I'll say.
Yeah.
But what's the chances of that happening?
The funniest part is that you say that, and then, like, you get a job, and you're like, man, I'm so tired. But, like, it would really help me wind down? A 1-hour stream every Friday after I get off. And then you hit it big, and you're just doing that.
Yeah, it'd be funny.
While also having a job.
But I digress. I hear doors opening and closing, so I think people are here now.
All right.
Sorry, skedaddle.
The appliance, refrigerator, microwave.
It's oven and dishwasher. So.
The dishwasher is just the fridge, but for dishes.
Some may debate that. Me being one of them. But on the next stream.
But not I, fool that I am.
Yeah. Next stream, we got some catching up on Hunter x Hunter to do, though, so we gotta...
Oh, yeah, that's true. I have lots of thoughts, especially about bestiality.
Quite a few. And, group sex.
I need to bring in one of my in the second notebook that I filled so far. There's a couple pages about bestiality that I'll need to bring in.
Don't bring those in.
Why not?
Pretty sure we're not allowed to show that on Twitch, so.
Oh, don't worry. No face cam, so I can't hold up the pictures.
Check again.
I'll just describe them in detail.
Check again outside your window. You see me standing there with a webcam.
Have you been working out? Your abs are looking sick. It's cold out there, though. Why are you shirtless?
Wait, what's your temperature like up there, actually?
Actually, let me check. It's it's 52 today, so it's not that bad.
Not bad, yeah. 70s maybe right now, so. Yes, I have been. Wait, AJ's out there? Anyway, goodbye, stream. Thank you for coming. See you later.
Yeah. Thank you for the stream. Buy a stream.
Buy a stream. See you later, AJ. 46 for me. Whatever that means.